Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first update for my 2024 deck of painting project pan. This project was created by Emily from Emily and Max. Definitely recommend going to check her channel out. She has so much fun content over on her channel. She is a mastermind when it comes to creating projects, and I just absolutely love her with my whole heart. So definitely go check her out. Go check out her introduction video in case you have questions about how this project is run. But it's a game style project that was inspired by a booktuber's TBR, monthly TBR game. There's a deck of cards involved. There is a spreadsheet with a bunch of random prompts on it, and we randomly select products to focus on painting goals. So I have 3 products that will be rolling out in today's video, which I'm super excited about. 2 of those are just like straight empties, so I'm really excited about that. If you're interested in my update, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, we do it all over here, and I would love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. All right, you guys, this project started with 5 products, but in the first update, I randomly generated a card that made me add another prompt to the project. So I have 6 products that I'm working on, and we can start with the 3 that I have not yet completed my goals on and will still remain in the project. So up first, I have my Tula, I have my Super Goop Unseen Sunscreen. I drew the card, pick your space, and the space that I picked was the prompt SPF. And I selected this because it was unopened, and this actually expires April of this year. I'm super disappointed in myself for not using this last summer, but this expires April of this year, so I'd really like to get as much use out of this before it expires. I'm gonna think in my head it expires at the end of April and hope for the best. So I literally opened it this past month to use, and I used it some. I really do use this mostly as a primer. I also live in Minnesota, which I know you can get sunburn at any time, but when it's, and it really hasn't even been a cold winter, but I'm like, when it's like the cold winter, sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself to reach for an SPF, but I do like this as, it's almost like a pore filling primer. I used it some. I am also focused on some other primers and other projects, so it's kind of competing for attention there. But when I try and squeeze this, and I'm sure there's an air bubble in this, when I try and squeeze this, this is about where I can mark the line right now. I'm sure there's an air bubble in it, but we're gonna be working on this one for a while. My goal is to empty this out. The next product that is going to remain in the project is my Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Very Victoria. I do actually have this on my lips today, layered over a lip stain from YSL. And I rolled this in for the prompt, a splurge item, and I gave myself a 12 use goal with this lipstick. I've reached for it 3 out of the 12 times. I did kind of neglect this, although I am working on some other lip products that I have been heavily focused on. So this one got neglected a little bit. I'm also just such a lip gloss girly. It's just so hard to motivate myself to reach for a lipstick. I do think this is a really beautiful color, a really beautiful shade, but we still have 9 more uses to go on that one in order to roll it out. Okay, and then the final product that is still going to remain in this project is my Dose of Colors Baked Browns eyeshadow palette. And I drew the card, pick your space, and for that space I picked Wild Card, and I just selected this palette. I did include this in a video I did on my channel in January called These Products Will Self-Destruct, and I told myself that at the end of the year, if I don't either have 5 total eyeshadow pans, so a pan in every single shade, or if this shade right here isn't empty, then I need to declutter this eyeshadow palette. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to give myself an excuse to focus on this, and I have been heavily focused on using this shade Up. I'm really excited to look at the progress photos because I feel like I've made a ton of progress within this shade. I have reached for this palette in the last month and a half, 5, 10, 15, 20, about 25 times. And every single time I've reached into this eyeshadow palette, I have reached for this shade. So really excited to see the progress. I think I might have like 2 more months. Like it might be, I won't be rolling this out next update, but potentially the update after that. We'll see. We'll see how quickly the outer part of this goes, but I have a feeling this will be in for 2 more months. But I'm really excited that I've seen such great progress on this. I've also been using this shade right here as like an eyebrow powder some days as well. So we've got a lot of use on that eyeshadow palette, and it does make me just so happy that that palette is finally not getting neglected anymore. Okay, and the final 3 products will all be rolling out, meaning we will be rolling in 3 new products to work on at the end of this video, which makes me so excited. So let's talk about my Youthforia setting spray first. I drew the card Baby Goal, and I had a very small amount of this product left to finish. As you can see, I'm someone who sprays my face every single time I'm doing my makeup. I definitely over spray my face. I didn't have a lot of this left, so I knew if I just put this in this project, this would likely be a really easy rollout for me, and that is what it is. I'm very excited to have another empty that we can chat about in my next makeup rehab update. All good things. Sorry, I actually rolled this in for the prompt a spray, and for a Baby Goal I had rolled in this, which is also an empty. This is the Kosas Plump and Juicy Collagen Lip Balm. I had been working on this for quite a while. Like, I'd been like unofficially trying to just use this up and pan it. It was my work like desk gloss for a while, and I had probably even less than you're seeing right here. Like, we were really down to like the very bottom of this, so I figured it would be a good Baby Goal product. Again, kind of another layup sort of product that I would easily be able to roll out this update, and that is what we are going to be doing. And I'm very excited to have a lip product empty. I love to buy lip products so much, but I would also really like to see, I would like to still like buy lip products and have fun with lip products and enjoy lip products and try new things, but also still see my lip product inventory decrease at the end of the year. So excited to be rolling this out. And then the final product and the final rollout for this month is my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette. I rolled this in for the prompt warm toned, and I gave myself the goal to no pan left behind it, and I'm very excited that I was able to do that. I will post a picture of the look that I created. I can very easily do a look using every single shade within this eyeshadow palette, and it was exciting to just knock another palette in my palette collection off the list of eyeshadow palettes that I've no pan left behind. I'm trying to get through as many as possible this year. This is a favorite eyeshadow palette of mine in my collection, so I'm sure this will continue to get used throughout the year. But that was also kind of another like really easy goal, but also really nice because I was able to just check another palette off the no pan left behind list. But this will also be rolling out, meaning that we get to roll in 3 new cards to replace those 3 products. I have already shuffled my cards, but I'll shuffle them a couple more times so that you guys can see. Oh my gosh, I was gonna film this video yesterday, and what's so funny is in my introduction video, if you guys remember, there was my upstairs neighbor was vacuuming. Well, yesterday, right around the time I was planning to film but decided not to, they were vacuuming again. I was like, what is it about? What is it about me wanting to film my decorative project pan that they feel it's time to vacuum? Okay, we will just do a couple of these as well. And we have 3 cards to pick. This is nerve-wracking. That's a lot of opportunities to get the Joker. Okay, first up we get the Ace of Diamonds. Is that gonna be like add another product, or is that pick a space? You've got to be kidding. An Ace of Diamonds is pick up 2, meaning that we're gonna be adding an extra product to my products. I love how this year I was like, I'm not gonna do, last year as a consequence to myself, if I didn't have a rollout, I rolled in or drew a card anyway. And I love that I was like, I'm not gonna do that this year, but every single time so far we have gotten out of space. So now we need to draw 4 cards. I don't know why I was closing my eyes. Okay, we get the 3 of Diamonds, which I will post the game board at the end and we'll go through everything. I just wanted to check the face card because I was worried it might be out of space. Wow, lots of diamonds so far. We have the 8 of Diamonds. I thought that was a Joker for a minute. We have the Ace of Spades, which, oh, this is a get out of jail free card, meaning that I can hang on to this or I can use it now and I can like veto a card. Do I want to veto? Well, we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. We still have, does that mean I still have 2 more to draw? Let me check. We'll need to draw an additional card for prompt product. Okay, so I'm setting that aside, but that still means we have 2 more prompts or 2 more cards to select. So we get the 5 of Hearts and we get the 3 of Hearts. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna pull the game board up and I will post it on the screen so you guys can kind of follow along with me. So up first, we have the 3 of diamonds, which is something that was gifted. Okay. Then we have the 8 of diamonds, which is no pan left behind. Oh, perfect. We love a good no pan left behind. Then we have the 5 of hearts, which is a metallic product. And then we have the 3 of hearts, which is an out of control category. Okay, none of these are like super hard prompts. So I do think, I'm like, could I technically veto adding in an additional product? That's okay. That's okay. We'll roll with 7. And I think I'm going to actually save my get out of jail free card for, you know, potentially in the future if I get something else that I really, like a prompt I really don't want. So I'm gonna go spend a little bit of time with my makeup collection and I'll be right back to share with you the products we're rolling in. Okay, you guys, there's a couple of these I may end up regretting. There is a couple. We'll see. We'll get into my reasonings, my thought processes. Okay. So up first, we had the 3 of diamonds, and this was a gifted product. And so for this, I'm gonna be going with my Tula Filter Primer, Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. So this one I actually bought for myself, but Tula just sent me the most generous PR package. I was like screaming and like jumping for joy when I got it. I literally couldn't believe it, but they included one of these primers in it. It's in the exact same shade as the one that I have, and so I just don't want a couple of these sitting around, but this is one of my favorite primers. I've already gone through a full size of this, so I want to keep that primer, but that'll encourage me to get use out of this one. My only thought for why I might regret this is because I have my sunscreen, which I want to focus on. I do have another primer that I'm working on in my rolling project 10 pan. But I do really enjoy this primer, and now I have an excuse to use this up because I'll already have a backup. So that is going to be the first product that we roll in. By my best guess, we are probably right about here for this primer, so we still have a ways to go. I did self-tan yesterday, and this definitely helps match my face to my body when I am self-tanned, and maybe I'm not going in with the foundation, so I feel like I can get some good use out of that. Goal will be to finish that one up. All right, next up we had the 8 of diamonds, which was a no pan left behind. I'm going with an easy one for this. I'm going with a quad. I'm kind of giving myself a layup here because as I look at the rest of the products, I'm like, we have a couple of these that might be in for a while, so at least, you know, I'll have one easy product that I can use and roll out. So for this, I'm gonna go with the McGRATH Vouyeristic Vixen Quad. This was a palette that was neglected. It has been really quite neglected in my collection since purchasing this. I haven't gotten a ton of use out of this, and this is a pricey little quad. This is something I could potentially see myself feeling like I don't necessarily need in my collection. So may as well no pan left behind it, kind of get my thoughts, get my feelings, see if it's something that I want to keep in my collection, and potentially think about decluttering this one. I'm not sure, we'll see. Then I had the 5 of hearts, and this is a metallic product, and this is where it gets interesting that I feel like I might regret my decision on this, but I am not doing like a eyeshadow panning focused project this year. I'm doing the no pan left behind where I'm just trying to get use out of my collection, not necessarily try and hit pan on any eyeshadows. I do still want to hit pan on, you know, some eyeshadow throughout my collection this year. I have 2 pans so far this year, and so I thought it would be fun to roll in an eyeshadow, and I'm gonna roll in this shade right here, and this comes out of one of my favorite palettes in my collection. It comes out of my Kaleidos Sashimi City palette. I feel like a lot of my favorite palettes have like one, like they're the palettes that actually do have pan throughout my collection. I was going back and forth between this and the Geodes, What's Up Beauty, not Geodes, the What's Up Beauty Desert Monsoon palette, because I wanted something for an inner corner highlight. That seems to be a really easy way for me to hit an eyeshadow pan. This is something I haven't used a ton as an inner corner highlight. I love this on the lid because it is so sparkly. I can also use this as a lid topper, and it will match quite a bit. Like, I feel like I can really kind of pair this with a number of looks, but then I can also use this as an inner corner highlight. There it is, swatched right there. And I would just love to, you know, have a pan in this palette that I talk about all the time as being a favorite, which I do really love this palette. So I want to show it some love and see a pan in it. So my goal is going to be to hit pan. in that metallic shade in the palette. And then the fourth and final product that we'll be rolling in, this is a bit of a layup as well, but again, I kind of wanted some easy things mixed in there so we can still have some rollouts each month. So we drew the 3 of hearts, and for this stood for an out of control category. I had just gotten done telling you guys how much like lip products as a whole are definitely my most out of control category. I also thought about potentially eyeshadow as well, but I also thought about foundations because I do have quite a few foundations, but we're going with lips because in my makeup inventory, lips as a whole has my highest amount of products, except for actually palettes. I think I do have more eyeshadow palettes than lip products. Anyway, going off on a tangent, I'm going to be rolling in the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. We all know how much I love the Lawless Forget the Filler. This is in the shade Velvet. I told myself that I did want to finish this year. This was in 24 products I want to pan in 2024. And the reason this is kind of a layup is because I recently took the stopper out of this and I'm so close to being done with this, but not yet finished. I have been using this quite a bit lately and I'm gonna miss having this shade in my collection. I will say, even like editing back, I was wearing this in my 3 Looks 1 palette with the Adept Flying Fiddles. I couldn't stop staring at my lips. I was like, oh my gosh, they just look so juicy. It looks like maybe I got filler, but I definitely didn't. There are some new shades also releasing. I'm definitely going to be purchasing a couple more shades of Lawless Forget the Filler during the next Sephora VIB sale. Do I need them? No, because I still have so many still in my collection, but I'm going to miss the shade Velvet. Anyway, all that to say, my goal is going to be to empty this out and finish this up. I do believe this will be a rollout next update, as well as the Pat McGrath quad should be no problem rolling out. And then I think my only other shot at a rollout next month would be my Very Victoria lipstick, if I can get that on my lips 9 times. But I'm confident we'll at least have 2, which I feel really good about. So that is going to wrap it up for today's deco panning project pan video. Would love to know in the comments what product you most recently hit pan on. What are your thoughts on the products that I'm rolling in? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.